Welcome to our space of hope, inspiration, where faith is ignited and the Word of God meets us right where we are. Thank you for being here and for allowing us to walk with you. Isaiah 54:17, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and this is their vindication from me, declares the Lord. Close your eyes for just a second. What voice has silently told you this week that you are not enough? What voice has whispered to you in the middle of the night that you are worthless? What person, or memory, or past mistake has made you believe that you deserve to be abandoned? You don't need to speak it. You don't need to write it down. You just need to know that I know, because you are not alone in this. You are not alone in the fear. You are not alone in the guilt. You are not alone in the feeling that, even though you have done everything right, something inside you keeps screaming, this is not enough. Today, I am not going to tell you that everything is going to get better. I'm not going to give you a formula for healing. I'm not going to ask you to pray harder, because I know you already have. And yet, the pain remains. And yet, the voice persists. But today, I'm going to tell you something that no one else has told you so clearly. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54, banding 17. It's not a general promise. It's a declaration of war against what has silently destroyed you. The word weapon here isn't just a knife. It isn't just an insult. It isn't just betrayal. It's the voice that tells you you're a mistake. No one will ever truly love you. What happened was your fault. If you were better, this wouldn't have happened. You no longer have the right to be happy. Those are weapons, forged in the fire of rejection, sharpened by time, thrown by people who don't even know they're hurting you. And you've kept them as if they were evidence, as if they were truths. But God doesn't say, maybe they won't prosper. It doesn't say, maybe they won't hurt you as much. It doesn't say, try to ignore them. It says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Not one, not some. None. Not the one that accuses you, nor the one that compares you, nor the one that reminds you of your failure as if it were your identity, nor the one that tells you that you don't deserve love because you're not perfect, nor the one that makes you believe that your past condemns you. All of them, they will not prosper. Not because you are strong, not because you have more faith, not because you have overcome everything, but because He has declared it. And when God speaks, weapons don't just fall apart. They turn to dust. I'll share the following fictional story of Daniel. He was 28 years old, had a stable job, a partner who loved him, and a voice inside him that never left him alone. You're a failure, it told him. You'll never be like your brothers. Your mother left you because you weren't good enough. No one will love you if they find out what you did. That voice didn't belong to anyone. It was his, and he believed it. Every night, before going to sleep, he repeated it until he wept. One day, during silent reading, he read Isaiah 54:17, and something inside him stopped. It wasn't a revelation, it was an interruption. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. And he wondered, what if this voice that is destroying me isn't mine? It wasn't his conscience. It was a weapon forged by the pain of his childhood, by his mother's silence, by his father's comparisons, by the words of a teacher who called him useless in class, and he had taken it as his own, as if it were his voice, as if it were the truth. But God didn't say, you must overcome it. He said, none shall prosper. And in that moment, Daniel didn't fight. He didn't pray anymore. He didn't try to think positively. He just breathed. And he said, Lord, if that voice isn't mine, then it isn't real. It wasn't an immediate miracle. The voice didn't disappear overnight, but something changed. She no longer heard it as her own. She heard it as an enemy, and he was no longer its battleground. I'll share the following fictional story of Anna. She was assaulted at 16. No one believed her. Her family blamed her. She convinced herself it was her fault. If only I hadn't worn that skirt. If only I hadn't gone out. If only I had been stronger. For 17 years, that voice haunted her. Every failed relationship, every sleepless night, every tear in the shower, it was her. The same weapon, repeated, sharpened. Until one day, in a support group, someone said, "It wasn't your fault." And if God says that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, then that voice has no right to be here. Hannah didn't heal in a day, but she stopped defending it. She stopped believing it. And little by little, she began to say, "That's not my voice. That's a weapon, and God has already defeated it." And today, she is a therapist, and every week, she tells another woman, that voice that tells you you're worthless isn't yours. It's a weapon, and God has already defeated it. I'll share the following fictional story of Miguel. He lost his business. He ran out of money. His wife left him, and he convinced himself, "Now I'm nobody." He spent 6 months without leaving the house, without answering calls, without looking in the mirror, until one day, his 8-year-old daughter left a note on his door, a drawn heart, and a message. "Dad, you are my hero. It doesn't matter if you don't have money. You are my dad." And he, crying, read Isaiah 54:17 and said, "Lord, if you say that no weapon will prosper, then my failure is not my identity." He never had the same business again, but he lived again, not as a man who lost everything, but as a man who, despite everything, was still loved. Do you know what Daniela and Miguel have in common? They weren't stronger. They didn't have more faith. They didn't do more. They simply stopped defending the lie. They stopped believing that the weapons others forged against them were theirs. And you? What weapon have you been carrying as if it were yours? The voice that tells you you're not worthy of love. The one that reminds you of your mistake as if it were your name. The one that makes you believe that, because you've suffered, you no longer deserve peace. That's not your voice. That's a weapon. Forged in the pain of others, sharpened by your silence, thrown by those who didn't know they were destroying you. But today, God tells you, none will prosper. Not because you deserve it, not because you're perfect, not because you've prayed enough, but because He has said so. And when God speaks, weapons don't just break, they fall apart. And He doesn't ask you to fight them. He asks you to acknowledge them, to see them for what they are. Invasions. Not your truth. Not your story. Not your identity. You are not your mistake. You are not your trauma. You are not your failure. You are not what they told you. You are not what they made you feel. You are the inheritance of the servants of Jehovah. Do you know what that means? That you are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are not a lost cause. You are an inheritance. An inheritance that is not bought, not earned, not deserved. It is received because He chose you before you were born, before you were hurt, before they told you you were worthless. He had already chosen you. And today, in the midst of your pain, in the midst of your silence, in the midst of your fear, He tells you, I am your salvation, not your success, not your health, not your relationship, not your clean past. He, only He. And when you stop fighting against weapons and let yourself be embraced by salvation, then the weapons vanish. Not because you have defeated them, because He has already defeated them. And you know there's nothing to do. Just stop believing them. Just say, that's not my voice. That's not my truth. That's not my identity. That will not prosper. And if you can't say it out loud today, that's okay. Just say it in your heart, silently, with your breath. Inhale and say, that's not mine. Exhale and say, it will not prosper. Inhale, that's not mine. Exhale, it will not prosper. And if it's difficult, don't judge yourself. Don't demand too much of yourself. Just keep breathing, because you are not alone. You are not broken. You are not discarded. And that inheritance is not lost. It is not taken away. It is not changed. It is yours. Forever. And if you struggle with it, ... If today you feel tired of fighting against what others tell you you are, if you feel exhausted from defending your worth, if you no longer believe you deserve to be loved, I invite you to a place where you are not asked to be strong, where you are not required to have perfect faith, where you are not judged for your faults, a place where you are not told, get up, but I am here with you, where you are not told, have more faith, but your inheritance is already secured, where you are not told you have overcome your past, but your past does not define your destiny. That place is called Gokrip. It is a space for those who still weep in silence, for those who no longer believe in themselves, for those who have carried weapons that do not belong to them. Here, we do not ask you to forget your pain. We remind you that it is not your name. Here, we do not demand that you be perfect. We tell you, you are already an inheritance. Here, we do not sell solutions. We share stories of people who, like you, carried weapons that weren't theirs, and discovered that when they stopped believing in them, God's voice grew stronger. If you feel alone in this today, you are not alone. You are here. And here, no one abandons you. Not out obligation, not out of duty, but because the God who told you, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, also said, I am your salvation. And if this message touched you, it wasn't by chance. It was Him whispering to you, come. You don't have to fight anymore. You just have to remember who you are. So please, like this, not so I can see it, but so that someone else, who also carries a weapon that isn't theirs, can find it. And no, I am not alone. Subscribe to Gokrip, not because you need more content, but because you need to know that there is a place where your heritage is not up for debate, where your worth is not negotiable, where your life is not measured by what you did, but by who made you. Turn on notifications, because tomorrow, when that voice whispers to you again, a word will come, without you asking for it, without you seeking it, simply because you are an inheritance. Leave your request in the comments, not for me to resolve it, but so that someone who has also been hurt can tell you, me too, and me too, it will not prosper. Because we are not here to impress God, we are here to remind our hearts who created them. And if today you can only say one thing, let it be these, Lord, that voice that tells me I am worthless. It is not mine. It will not prosper, because I am your inheritance, and with that, you are already on the path. Together, one breath at a time. And remember, no weapon formed against you will prosper. None. 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 And your salvation comes from Him. Not from you. Not from your effort. Not from your past. Only from Him. And that is eternal. We await you at Gokrip. If this message touched your heart, like these posts, help others find it. Subscribe to Gokrip. It doesn't just inspire. It transforms. Leave your request in the comments. We are praying for you. You're not alone.